Hello guys, I am Shubham from ShubhVed Tutorials. This video is about DNA replication in prokaryotes. So before we start, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever new video is out. So let's get started with the video. Till now we have understood the basics of DNA replication. What are the polymerases? What are the actual steps in the DNA replication? What are the enzymes? Now from this video we will discuss a detailed process in prokaryotes and in eukaryotes. So basically, this DNA application is divided in three parts, and we study. First is initiation, then elongation, and termination. So let's see first how does initiation takes place. So basically, we know that first strands are double stranded. Then there is a formation of a replication bubble, or you can say replication forks. Right. So this is the initial case. Okay, and enzymes required for this is the DNA helicase. In prokaryotes or in eukaryotes, a replicon model of initiation of replication was proposed. A replicon model contains two parts, initiator and a replicator. Okay, replicator. So replicator is a DNA sequence. DNA sequence. Right. An initiator is a protein that will recognize this replicator or a DNA sequence. In it is known as origin of replication. Right, there are specific sites through which origin happens. Origin of replication take place. That is initiation take place. Okay, so this is a sequence we can see here in the diagram. This is a replicator sequence. Here comes a protein known as initiator. This will bind directly to the replicator or a origin of replication. Okay, it is also known as origin of replication. We can say origin of replication. So these are the sites in the chromosome that initiates that DNA replication. Okay, so here comes initiator, a protein that will recognize this origin of replication, and the replication starts or initiates. So what is this replicon? A replicon is in case of bacteria, we say that the entire genome, the entire genome is replicated. So we are seeing what is replicon. So in bacteria, in prokaryotes, entire genome is replicated through a single origin of replication. That is single site, origin of replication. So single replicon, we can say single replicon. The entire chromosome is replicated from a single replicon. Okay, and in eukaryotes there are multiple origins, multiple sites for origin of replication. So we can say bacteria contains single replicon, a bacterial genome is a single replicon, and eukaryotes have multiple replicons. Okay, so this is a replicon model. Then this is a site, actual site, oriC. Okay, origin of replication in E. coli. Okay, so this is oriC, right? And this is a DNA sequence. See, these are 9 mer, 5 repeats of 9 mer, and 13 mer. There are 3 repeats, right? 3 repeats of 13 mer. This is for DNA unwinding. So unwinding starts from here. Okay, DNA unwinding starts from here. And this 9 mer units, right? These are 5 repeats of 9 mer. And here there is a initiator binding site. Okay, so here there is binding of initiator and 13 more units starts unwinding. Okay, so let's see whole process in detail now. See, this is the initiator DNA in E. coli. First protein DNA along with ATP comes and bind here to the 9 mer 5 repeats. Okay, see, then it happens a coiling like structure here. Okay, coiling, and here caused a DNA unwinding. See, right, this is DNA unwinding in this region. 13 mer and 9 mer are separated. We can see here a gap. So this is a unwinding, right? Formation of coil, we can say. Then the next enzymes come. Which are the next enzymes for further unwinding of DNA? DNA helicase and helicase loader. Because helicase cannot bind itself for the proper site where the helicase has to bind, loader is required. Okay, loader, helicase loader will load the helicase to the proper site of the DNA. So this is a helicase. Okay, DNA helicase, here it is DNA B and DNA C. Right? Then the third step, they have started the unwinding. We can see here, unwinding has started place. Then next enzyme will come primase. Okay, primase is a DNA G, basically a DNA G. We have to remember these names in prokaryotes. So primase will start making the primer, right? Primer will provide free 3' OH group. Then the DNA polymerase will come. Okay, it is a holo enzyme. We know DNA polymerase 3. Okay, will come and join the process, right? Helicase loader is out now. We can see, right? Helicase loader is out now, and DNA polymerase comes. So this holo enzyme will first initiate or start the leading strand synthesis. Okay, leading strand synthesis starts first. We have to remember this, whether it be in prokaryotes or in eukaryotes. Leading strand synthesis starts first. Then as the unwinding proceeds, right, then the lagging strand synthesis starts. But first starts leading strand synthesis. Okay, so this is sliding clamp. See, sliding clamp comes in. Now here leading as well as lagging strand synthesis had took place. Okay, all sides. Right, we can see here carefully. Leading strand is formed continuous and lagging strand is formed with the help of this coiling. Right, loop formation. Right, leading strand is formed continuous. So that's it. These are the all steps. Let's see the order of enzymes. First is the initiator DNA A. Right, DNA A. Then second DNA B. Okay, this is a helicase and DNA C is a helicase loader. Then is the primase, DNA G. This is a primase. Initiator. Then this is a helicase. Then helicase loader. And this is a primase. After primase, main enzyme. DNA polymerase 3 holoenzyme. Right? So this is the order. After initiation, this will continue. Elongation will take place. As the helicase will move further, unwinding the DNA, the process will continue. That's only the elongation step. So now termination takes place. So there is a one point here where these two strands meet. We can see here. As replication starts here, so this will be origin. This is proceeding replication and completed replication in the third picture, right? their replication is completed, but the two strands are interwound. We can say bound to each other. So they have to be separated, right? So the separation take place by the enzyme known as topoisomerase. In prokaryotes, it is known as gyrase or DNA gyrase, right? Gyrase enzyme. So what it will do, it will break one strand. Suppose it will cut this strand and then bring out it, and again it will seal it. Okay, we can say like that. So this is how the two strands are interwound to each other. Now topoisomerase will make a cut in one strand, and then again after coming out, it will get sealed to each other. How this DNA application is regulated? Basically, see, this all things happen properly. Okay, methylation state. Okay, methylation state is important for the regulation of DNA application because the parental strands are methylated. See, we can see here this represents methylation. Okay, and here is a sequence known as GATC. So methylation takes place on A, on GATC, right? Methylation takes place on adenine. So this is a sequence, right? Now this replication is initiated when these are fully methylated. Both the strands are methylated. Okay. Now after replication, the new strands which are synthesized are not methylated, right? Those are not methylated. After completion of DNA application, the sites are methylated. Okay. So here comes a protein known as SEC-A. Okay, SEC-A. It will bind to the hemimethylated state of DNA. Okay, hemimethylated state of DNA, right? So that it recognizes that this is a hemimethylated DNA strand, so replication cannot be initiated here, right? So this is indication that we should not start replication, okay, because this is a hemimethylated strand. It is newly synthesized strand. Okay, so we can see from this picture, SEC-A is binding to this GATC sequence, which is hemimethylated. So this represents hemimethylation state, right? So this will inhibit these enzymes. Okay, as I said, the DNA replication initiation is inhibited. So this is a DNA A. This will not able to bind the DNA when SEC-A is attached to it. Okay, because it is hemimethylated state. So DNA A cannot bind here. As well as dimethylase. Dimethylase do the work of methylation. Right? Means it will give the methyl group on the adenine. See here. Dimethylase comes in. Dimethylase comes in, SEC is removed out. Okay, from this strand. Last part. Okay, removed out, SEC is removed out. Here binds the dimethylase and it will methylate here. Okay, we can see here. This is methylated, right? By dimethylase. Then DNA A can come here and bind. So the DNA. The DNA A will come and start the replication then. Okay, so slowly, after the replication is completed, dimethylase comes and methylates the new strand. Right? After methylation, DNA A can come and start the reinitiation. See, reinitiation. Right? Replication of DNA. Okay, so this is how regulation takes place. Now some more important points in DNA replication. As we can see, helicase loading, okay, and helicase activation. These two are most important words. Okay, so we know that DNA replication takes place in S phase. So helicase activation takes place in S phase. Okay, S phase. It can also occur in G2 and M phase. Okay, but what happens after the DNA replication is done? Okay, unwinding is done. Helicase is released out. Right? Helicase is released out. So we can say S phase is the phase where helicase is active. Then when does helicase loading takes place? Helicase loading takes place in G1. Okay, means helicase loaded in G1 phase. This is a preparatory phase. We know that. So all the preparation is done in the G1. So helicase is loaded on the in the G1 phase, and activation is done in the S phase. Also, helicase loading requires ATP hydrolysis. ATP hydrolysis. Also, DNA polymerase loading. Follow enzyme loading. This also requires ATP hydrolysis. So these two steps require ATP hydrolysis. Right? What is ATP hydrolysis? ATP is broken down into ADP plus PI. This is ATP hydrolysis. And the energy from this breaking of ATP is used for the work by these enzymes. Right? So that's it for this video. I hope this video helps you. If you find this video helpful, do let us know in the comment section.